Coach, just before we get to the game, just your thoughts, what was going through you when you experienced that moment when they put the tribute up to Z?
Well, I felt a little bad for him that there wasn't, 18,000 plus fans here giving the ovation he deserved, to be honest with you. That would have been a real nice thing for him, but obviously that's not able to be done right now with the circumstances. So too bad for him. I think everyone sort of went through that, Jimmy, a little bit up there. When first time we played against him, ran into him, chatted with him in the hallway, a little more of that sort of inner perspective and, seeing him on a different team. So for me, I experienced a bit of that in Washington, to be honest with you. Here, like I said, without the crowd, I certainly thought of game, the St. Louis final, coming back from a broken jaw was probably the first thing that went through my head, and the ovation you got that night, I'm sure it would have been very similar.
And then just the game, your reaction to that, and how much more of a playoff feel, so to speak, did this have than the first two against them?
Yeah, it seemed like the ice was heavier tonight for both teams. They looked fatigued. Puck was bouncing around, so didn't lend itself to a lot of crisp plays. We stayed in the game, Jimmy, which, at home you want to push the pace and the tempo. There's no doubt about that. So I'm not going to sit here and say we're satisfied, but they've got a good team over there. We've got some young D that are, have to understand what it's like to play against big guys, explosive guys. So I thought situationally we handled that well. Then we came out, sort of found our legs in the second, and then the third got the lead. We just, we made a bad play, a turnover that cost us. We made a few of them, and that one eventually bit us. So the positives is, you're up a goal in the third period and you're building. The negatives, we still didn't generate enough throughout the lineup. So we'll keep working on that.
Thanks.
Matt Porter.
Bruce, the younger line of Frederick, Studnicka, DeBrusk, what did you think of their night, specifically creating a few opportunities, obviously not finishing, but also in the defensive zone? It seems like there was a little bit more to give there.
Well, again, offensively, they had some legs. I thought Jake was hard on pucks, second effort on pucks. I thought he was doing a good job. Freddie got a little away from shooting, and which he had been doing lately. So we'll remind him about that. Jack got in, they made a nice little give and go play. So we're going to live with some stuff in the D zone. They're going to have to sort certain things out. It's going to be a learning curve for Jack, especially against a deep team like that. He's going to have to be heavier on pucks. That's my issue with Jack is, he plays on his backhand a little for a centerman, and he's going to have to be a little stronger on pucks in that area. And by that, I mean making stronger plays. We'll live with the physical growth that's going to occur over the next few years where he turns more into a man, but you got to make hard puck plays in the middle of the ice in this league. They'll come right back at you. So he's learning that. And other than that, we'll look at it again. We'll go through their D zone. If they're going to play, they got to play in, I'm not going to say every situation, but you can't staple them to the bench because you have a good team or a good line. I mean, they got to learn by playing, and that's the objective.
On that disallowed goal, it was a kind of a rough start for Clifton and Tenorti. Did you feel them? They came along, got more comfortable?
Yeah, they duplicated on one. They started reading off each other with the breakouts. I thought Jared kept it, simple and clean. Cliffy has a tendency to try to do some things out there, and today a couple times it caught up to him, and understanding when to be simple and when to take your chance. So with him, it's always about a clean game. Did you have a clean game or not? And if you didn't, was it because you forced stuff or you just didn't execute, or was it the other team that was just on top of you? So, we'll talk to him about that. But hey, you look at our D back there, they're a young group, and they kept a good team. Obviously Tuukka's part of that, don't get me wrong, but they kept a real good offensive team, at bay for a lot of the game. So I thought our problems were more early on up front, managing the puck. We didn't get through the neutral zone. A lot of turnovers as a group. Didn't establish a forecheck. Makes it tough on your D defending the that much. So I'll give them some credit where credit is due, and we'll go back to work on Friday.
Joe McDonald.
Coach, back to Freddie. What did you think of his willingness to engage as much as he was tonight?
Well, he's decided that is something that we call it impacting the game, right, Joe? Everyone that comes into the lineup has to find a way, whether it's through offense, physicality, steady defensive play, face-offs, penalty kill, power play, whatever. He's come into the league and decided he's going to be an agitator to a certain extent, but, keep his discipline so he's not putting us at a disadvantage. So, and I think he's done a good job with it. And then, he's going to have to build his game where offensively he started to. Like I said tonight, I thought he could have shot a few more times. He was in there once, handcuffed him a little bit, but so we like that out of him. It's a little bit of abrasiveness. It's still welcome in the game, and he can continue to bring it as long as he doesn't get off his game. If it gets other people off their game, then I think it's a positive.
Next question.
Last question, Fluto Shinzawa.
Bruce, when did you learn about Charlie's unavailability, and how did that affect your lineup?
Midday, after we all got off the ice. And I guess you saw how it affected it, right? We moved some people around from the morning skate, put Bjork back in, Crowley back in the middle.